On the next Roseanne show, it's rapper Coolio.
I'm like a super electronic atomic nuclear dynamo of energy.
I hear that, and I think the hair has a lot to do with that.
Then, the man behind your favorite sitcoms, Norman Lear.
You know you did change popular culture.
I don't believe that for a second.
Man, you did it 5 times, 5 or 6 times. Come on.
8 times.
All on the next Roseanne show.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade.
Guys like us, we had it made.
Those were the days. And you knew who you were then.
Girls were girls and men were men. Mister, we can use a man like Martin Luther again. Didn't need no welfare state.
Everybody pulled his weight.
Damn, our old LaSalle ran great.
Those were the days. Today on the Roseanne Show, Grammy Award-winning rapper Coolio, television legend Norman Lear, and opinionated BET host Tavis Smiley is here. That's awesome. We have so much show today, I'm going right to it. My first guest is one of the biggest rap artists on the planet. His records have sold over 17 million copies worldwide with hits including See You When I Get There and Gangster's Paradise. Please welcome Coolio. Thank you.
Is that... We should sell those for like Halloween, you know.
This is in honor of you.
Okay.
An homage, as they say. In my religion, in Judaism, like we don't cut babies' hairs till they're 3 because we say that hair is an antenna to God, to the higher world. So I was wondering if you like do you feel that?
I don't know, both of my sons had really long hair until they were like 2 or 3. My 2 oldest sons. My youngest son, we cut his hair early because it was ridiculous.
Well, do you feel like other than like this patent that you invented, this look that only you have, do you pick up stuff? Do you pick up stuff like in the universe?
Well, you know, I'm like a super electronic atomic nuclear dynamo of energy that receives all the
That's what it's about.
good feelings from the people, and I disperse them throughout my soul, and then I give it all back, and then I'm nothing.
I hear that, and I think the hair has a lot to do with that. You're receiving through your receptors.
I'm in touch. I'm in touch with the universe.
You are in touch with the universe.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, actually my hair, you know, it started growing like that because it was about this long, and it, you know, it couldn't fall over because it wasn't long enough. So when it started growing and getting longer, it grew up. And, you know, we tried to make it go down. Then after a couple of days, it'd be up. So I said, okay, just go up.
It is a fabulous fashion statement, and it says so much.
Thank you. I like your hair, too.
Do you like my hair?
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
my
I like
God.
it short.
You do?
Yeah.
See, I can't receive anything.
Makes your hair look smaller.
Makes my head look smaller.
Just you know, you're a comedian. I like, you know, I always bag on all the comedians. I go to the comedy club. I'm a heckler in the crowd.
You are?
Yeah,
You're very funny yourself.
I'm okay. You know, I'm more I think I'm more serious than funny, though.
No, you got a funny streak.
A little bit. You know, we bag. You know what bagging is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You used to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I like hecklers.
Oh, really?
I like to get in fights with people, like when, you know, when I was in the clubs and...
Yeah, I heard about
people.
that.
Because, you know, you heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard you used to get them up.
Well,
That's like
because
you get-
I was like one of the only women, and so like everybody thought it was an easy shot.
Right.
So you had to be tougher, you know. Okay. You know, you have to be tough. You have to fight.
You got to, especially you know when you come from adversity and you know you come from you don't come from much.
Yeah.
But you know it's one thing about being poor. You know people think they're poor. You're not. If you have opportunities
Right.
to do things, then you're not really poor. You know, you might maybe you go to bed hungry sometime, but the next day you can get up and go to school. And so if you have an opportunity to do something, then you're not really poor. And now,
That's
you can not have money
Right.
and still don't be poor. But now
what does poor mean?
Poor is when you don't have money sometimes. And you know, you're hungry sometimes and things aren't always easy.
But really, you went all over the world now. You don't think that's poor anymore, do you?
No, that's poor. Yeah, it is poor. But then there's po.
Oh, okay.
When you're po, your
Yeah.
daddy ain't got nothing, your mama ain't got nothing, your grandmama didn't have nothing, your granddaddy didn't have nothing, and they granddaddy and grandmama didn't have nothing, and you probably ain't gonna have nothing either. Places like Egypt, Africa, you go there, they don't have anything. And if your father got a camel, a cow, and a sheep, and you live in a little hut, and you got maybe an acre of land, and that's all you've ever owned. That's all your family has ever owned. Okay, you're coming up, you're growing up, right? When you get of age, you got to work. You got to go work in the field. You can't go to school. First of all, it costs. You got to pay money. It's no public education, so you got to pay money to go to school.
Did that like change your? Did that change
my
your head
perspective.
around totally
Yeah,
to
changed
see
my whole
other countries?
perspective
Okay.
of our life.
How do you feel about?
My life was good. When
'Cause you came up hard.
Yeah, I came up hard, but when a lot of the things and a lot of the situations that I got into were by my own choice. You know, with things that I did that were stupid. I know we all do that, right? You do stupid stuff, and you know, you get into situations that you find yourself not really wanting to be in.
Right.
But being
At
born,
a young age too.
yeah. So, but being born with nothing, I mean, whose fault is that? That's not your fault. It's
Right.
not your fault. So if you don't have an opportunity, then you poor.
Right.
But if you just don't have money, then you're poor. You see what I'm saying? So that's poor and poor.
That's a great philosophy too.
Yeah. So
And going all over the world, I could see where that would change it for the places I went and the stuff I saw.
Well, I've seen-
Stuff we take for granted here, and we
Exactly.
think, oh my God, it's so terrible, it's so terrible. But
Exactly.
we do have opportunity, you know, and also we have hope.
There you go. Well,
That's
you know,
what it is, isn't it?
I went to Romania
Wow.
and I saw poor white people. I mean, wow, poorer than any of the kids in my neighborhood that I grew up with. That's real. So
Just
it's
all
not.
relative, isn't
It's
it?
all relative, and it's people associate being poor with color a lot. I think
In America,
And-
we do,
Yeah, in America
don't we?
we do. And it's
Let's
not.
take a commercial, talk about that more when we come back. Stick around, because when we do come back, we're going to interview for the first time ever on TV, Mrs. Coolio. How cool is that? We're back, and Coolio, you must really love this woman. So why don't you introduce us to her?
Well, this is my wife. She is an author. Actually, her first book is getting ready to be published. It's called 101 Things to Know Before You Date My Daughter, My Best Friend, or Me.
That's cool.
She was an air personality here in Los Angeles for about 4 years. She started off in the Bay Area in San Francisco. She won many awards for radio up there, and she came here and she was #1 in her time slot. You might know her from a radio station called Power 106.
Wow.
She is a mother, she is my manager, she is my friend, you know what I'm saying? She's my homegirl, you know what I'm saying? My wife, Josefa Salinas. Ivy.
what a lovely couple you are.
Yeah, he needs to be my manager.
He was your manager?
That's really nice.
Oh, you mean because he gave you such a good intro?
Yeah, it was one of those intros, you know.
Were you surprised to hear him speak so well of you?
I was surprised he remembered everything.
Trying to get points.
He's trying to get points, brownie points for those days when you're like on the low end.
Well, you know.
Yeah,
Got home kind of late last night.
Uh-oh.
You didn't want to wake up, so
yeah, that's in the
I'm
book
hoping
too.
that don't happen
That's in the
tonight.
book?
That's in the book too.
You're doing great things in the community.
Oh yeah.
Let's
we're
talk about
working
that, your art bus, your
oh,
music
the mobile
bus.
music bus. What it is, it's a mobile studio. And what we found out is that rather than put a studio in a particular neighborhood, other kids can't necessarily come, especially in LA, from one neighborhood to another. So we said, okay, let's take the studio and put it on wheels. And then take the studio into the neighborhoods. We're working with Park and Recs. We'll go to a center, and they'll identify kids that are interested in music or radio, being a DJ, editing, engineering, things like that. And the studio will roll in there, and they'll get the opportunity to come in, make a demo, learn how to do things. And the first group of people that he got, he's put together a compilation album now with the first groups, the very best ones. And what we want to do is every 2 years put out an album of the very best kids that we find.
That is so great. Because we were talking before you came out, before you joined us, we were talking about, you know, hope and opportunity.
Right.
So how cool is that to put that on wheels and just go out?
Yeah,
That's
we
really
got everything. Now we just need the bus.
You
Love
know,
somebody.
In the inner city, when you talk about recording to a kid, all they know is rapping, singing,
Right.
or something like that. They don't know that you can do voiceover work. They don't know that you can do
Right.
cartoon character voices. They don't know about that kind of work.
Engineering,
you know?
producing,
Right.
all
There's
those
a lot
things.
of jobs here. There's a lot of jobs that would open if people knew. Absolutely. I think
Exactly.
it's so
So
cool.
it's a lot of talent out there, other than just rapping and singing, and I'm looking for that as well. So.
I wish you both all of my best. I hope to see you up there or down here or whenever, because I think you're both really special people.
And we love you, too.
And we would like to do anything we can to help, and we will. We will. I promise that we
All
will.
right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on my show. Thank you.